Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tamagotchi review video. This time we're going to be looking at and reviewing the Hatsune Mikutchi, which of course is the Tamagotchi Nano collaboration with Vocaloid, mainly Hatsune Miku being the typically the character that people will associate the most with Vocaloid. You can see that I don't actually have Miku on the screen. I have one of the non-Miku characters, which is, I believe it's Mako? My weeb days are... Well, part of my weeb days are behind me. There's a lot of weeb days that are still in the current, but in terms of my old weeb days where I was really into Vocaloid, those are fairly behind me, which I guess we'll get more into that later. But in any case, you can see on the screen we have stacked up musical notes, and this is unwritten sheet music, which is more or less the Pooh equivalent on this Tamagotchi Nano. So it stacks. You can see there's a stack of 3, which is pretty cool. I like when they have different things to the Pooh equivalent. Of course, it would be a little bit weird. These are mechanical friends just pooing all over the screen. Other franchises, Nanos, have the Pooh equivalent being chasing off a bad guy or defeating a bad guy, or the character going off and hiding somewhere. But in this one, it's unwritten sheet music, and it stacks just like Pooh on the other Nanos that do have the Pooh being the Pooh equivalent. So here we have Mako. We check on her status by going C, and we can see that she's fairly unhappy because I've left her with stacked up Pooh equivalent / unwritten sheet music. So let's cheer her up by going to the menus. We have 2 menus here, which is her overall care, feeding her, and the games. In terms of feeding her, and this is one of the first missed opportunities on this Nano, and that's the fact that, leek and vegetable juice was right there. Instead, we have music notes as the meal, which she eats. Like, she doesn't sing them like you would expect. She eats them, which is a little bit weird. Like, it's just the food is musical notes. Like, it's being eaten away and bitten away like food. And then the second one being, I thought originally that it might have been a leek, but no, it's actually a glow stick. Like one of those glow sticks that you see being used at concerts. It just kind of, leek and vegetable juice, as I said, was right there. Instead, the eating options, so usually it's meal and snack, but it's musical notes and glow stick. That feels like just a weird thing. I know they're, robots and they don't eat, but, the edible options were there, vegetable juice and leek, because despite me having Mako on the screen at the moment, the main draw and the main focus and the main character for this Nano is Hatsune Miku. That's why it's called the Hatsune Mikutchi, not the Vocaloid Chi. The non-Miku characters are just kind of there as special characters, but mostly the individual, and you start off with Miku, but mostly the individual evolutions are Miku wearing different clothes. Which brings me to my next point, which is my Vocaloid fan and Hatsune Miku knowledge is all from the 2000s, and all of the costumes are 2010 and later. So a lot of the references there are being lost on me because I haven't caught up with the Vocaloid and Miku lore. But that's on me. It's a current thing. This is a new release, so I can't expect it to reference old stuff too much, but it just kind of means that I'm not getting as many references as I could. The reference that I do get is the Miku with the leek. We get that as part of the daily events that happen every few hours, when you get like a little cute animation that references something to do with whatever that Tamagotchi Nano's crossover is. And I believe the Miku with the leek is specifically known as Hatsune Miku, I think. And she's the one that kind of waves the leek and makes like a mouth open, adorable face. And we also get her in the opening as well. That's a nice reference to see. Big fan of that. However, that's basically, except for the other characters being other Vocaloids, that's the only references that I'm more or less understanding. Let's take a look at the games, which again, they're all idol focused and music making focused, which I guess makes sense. This one is the press the button game, which I pressed it twice because I wasn't sure if it registered first. Oh, and because I just decided to click A again. So it's kind of like a Simon Says game. It tells you what buttons to press and then you press them. And more or less you're singing along with Miku, which I guess is what it's supposed to be doing. Another minor complaint / missed opportunity is the fact that the sound effects are just standard Tamagotchi Nano sound effects. It's not like, it hasn't had an updated soundbox. I'm not sure what the best way to define it, but we'll check out the other game now. But we don't have any custom sounds like the Tamagotchi Nano, and oh, this is a catching game, I'm terrible at these. We don't have any custom sounds like the Star Wars Nano, the Grogu Nano, or the Pac-Man Nano. They're all the standard sounds that we have from all the Tamagotchi Nanos, and I kind of wish that we got some custom things, because Vocaloids are about sound and music, and it would be nice if maybe they made the beeping a little bit similar to a Vocaloid song. So there's just a few missed opportunities there, and let's check out the other game. Of course, the characters that you get are... Oh, this is the timing one. I'm also terrible at these. You have to time it just when it's in the middle. I'm glad that they're making a little song now. Like, that's cute, but I wish they did more. Like, this is the only time it's playing a song. And because I'm failing my weeb lessons, I'm not sure what the song is. I'm not even sure if I'm assuming it's meant to be a Hatsune Miku song. That would make sense. But yeah, in terms of these, there's 3 games. They are all from the similar sort of pool of games that the Nanos always have, but with the skin for that Tamagotchi crossover franchise. And the way you take care of your character and the amount of games you play, the amount of perfect games you play, help determine what form your character will take. You start off with Miku, and then typically most of the evolutions are just her changing clothes, with the exception being the non-Miku characters, which I'm a big fan of. I like the non-Miku characters as well. So overall, those are my thoughts on the Hatsune Mikutchi. In terms of rating, 10 out of 10 for ease of use as always. They're fairly easy, low maintenance toys to hang out with during the day if you're busy, and that's something I really appreciate. In terms of enjoyment, 8 out of 10. I do enjoy it, but again, there are a few missed opportunities, but I can't really criticize it too much about what it doesn't have, because it is overall pretty fun. I just feel like the food options here, that they are missed opportunities for not having vegetable juice and leeks, but that's just me. Overall, I like it. I like all Nanos, and I like the shell as well. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and questions in the comment section below. Like this video for a character that isn't Hatsune Miku. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!